Greetings, sports fans. ASMR Sports. Back with you. Today was a mail day. I actually got packages from a couple of different places. One was my distributor. And another was Tops, who I ordered some items from off their website. So I thought I'd go through and see what we got with you guys. This thing is like surprisingly heavy. I'm not sure why that is, but this is a strange looking box of Garbage Pail Kids collector edition exclusive luggage tag inside. I don't know if that luggage tag is like very heavy, but I can't imagine it would be. Other than that, it's just a 24-pack, box of Garbage Pail Kids. So yeah, my distributor is kind of a nightmare. Every day I just want to drop them and bring a class action lawsuit against them for their various and many scammy ways of hosing me and presumably every other customer of theirs. But yeah, sometimes they just allocate random crap to me, including a Garbage Pail Kids book. Originally they were going to try and send me this friggin' thing by itself, and whenever they send me anything, it's like a $5 or $7 handling charge. It's a $15 shipping charge. It's they charge you a fee for residential delivery, which I've fought them to remove because I have stuff sent to a commercial address that I use for my business. And anyways, yeah, so I have this thing. I'm sure it's already worth less than I paid for it, quote unquote wholesale. What you learn is there's a lot of things that the wholesale price jeez, I knew I was going to do that, sorry. There's a lot of things for which the wholesale, quote unquote wholesale price from a distributor is actually higher than, what Blowout is selling it for, and you can't sell things for what Blowout's selling for generally because, Blowout has many, many thousands of customers that they email and that, just look at their site and buy whatever's there, even if they can get it for cheaper. So, yeah, alright, so my distributor sucks. But let's see, one thing that I got here was a 2022 Contenders NFL football box, and, I don't know, if this were any other year, I might just open this thing. I think I probably paid I don't know what, probably $170 or $80 for this, and they sell, I'm sure on Blowout, these are selling for maybe $300 or something. So it's okay, there's a tiny little profit there after, credit card fees and whatever else. But, so selling it is an idea. Opening it would be, funner, but as I've said before, 2022 football just seems terrible this year. Kenny Pickett is the one guy other than Brock Purdy. The rest of these guys are kind of like me. And you do get 5 autographs in Contenders football, which is fun. So, there's that, but it's I don't know if many of those autographs, if any, are going to be worth anything, so I don't know what, I'll probably just sit on it. That's what happens a lot of times. If I don't know what to do with something, I just kind of sit on it, and it sits in my collection. Maybe somebody will break out of that class. Another one that's can't quite figure out what to do with this is Court which is essentially the equivalent, but this box, which I presume is a hobby box, has only 10 cards in it, so it's kind of one of those, like low number of cards and a high dollar per card, price, kind of like, I don't know, like Obsidian or Spectra or, any of these products that have like, between like 5 and 12 cards, and they cost like, a couple $100 a box. So I didn't know that Core Kings was like that. I thought it was more like Diamond Kings, but maybe it's always been like this and I'm just clueless. It could be. I've never opened any, so I don't know. But anyways, I got a box. This is the 2022 version, which right now is a pretty lackluster year. You've got Paulo Bencaro is kind of the only thing holding it together. Chettle Holmgren, the number 2 pick, has been injured, and a few other guys are doing decent, but no sort of big superstar potential yet, other than Bencaro. So I don't know. Doesn't make me super excited. I'm way more excited about opening 2022 basketball than I am about opening 2022 football. I will say that though. I think these go for maybe 200 or maybe a little under that, I think, a piece. So, it's not cheap. You get one auto and one memorabilia card. Now, next up is something that's kind of very interesting. The way that these got released. These are 2 boxes of Bowman Heritage Baseball. One is 2021, one is 2022, and they got released on the same day. And not only that, you had to buy these together. Actually, I think you can still buy these on the Topps.com website. So if this seems appealing to you, then fire up your browser, folks. Basically 2020, so Bowman Heritage, let's talk about this. A long time ago they came out with this stuff every year. And then I think around, I don't know, like 2011 or 12 or something, they just basically killed the product. And so for many years there was no Bowman Heritage. Well, in 2019, they decided to start making this stuff again. And it was it was a Topps.com direct, online only release. That was the only place you could buy it. I bought a few boxes of it. I have a video, I think, of me opening a box of that. I think the boxes were like maybe $100, maybe a little less than $100, like $80 a piece. I think, if I recall, I bought like, I think 3 boxes. So I opened one and I had 2 kind of laying around for a long time, and eventually those sold. Right now those boxes are like $300 plus, so they're, pretty sought after. So then in 2020 they came out with Bowman Heritage again, and it was a pretty solid release. I think a lot of people liked it, and everybody expected them to continue doing it. I think they did some promo for 2021 Bowman back in 2021. A lot of people were really looking forward to it, but people waited, and they waited, and they waited. 2021 was over with. 2022 came around, and people were like, what happened to this product? Is it dead? Is it what? It's like, but I think people had some information that they had printed it. Like, I think they did a checklist. People fully expected this thing to come out, but it never came out. So now it's 2023, and lo and behold, what happens? Topps announces that they're releasing 2021 Bowman Heritage, and it will be, available on their site, on such and such a date, right? So the day comes, and it turns out they're actually releasing both 2021 and 2022 Bowman Heritage on the same day. And the question is, like, why the heck didn't they release this earlier? And what I've heard, what I gather from reading about this is that this set has the same numbering problem as Bowman's Best from 2021, where Topps gave regular card numbers, 1 through whatever 200, to prospect card yet. And that's what happened with Bowman's Best. But they release that normally, and people claim that some people claim that the cards of prospects in that 2021 Bowman's Best, which includes Spencer Torkelson, Bobby Witt, J. Rod, etc., all the guys from that 2020 or who were in the minors in 2021, and they have regular cards, in the base set, and so some people think those are rookies. I think that's ridiculous, but there was some hype around this idea, back when Bowman's Best came out. So the running theory, I think, is that maybe Topps kind of got in trouble with, like, the licensing authorities at MLB or MLBPA or both about putting prospect, cards in the base set, and they couldn't release this. But then maybe they decided, okay, they can release it because they've made it, blah blah blah. But what's interesting is that, this is not something, this 2021 Bowman is not something that they, printed up this year or end of last year and released, because people have gotten redemptions out of this stuff. And those redemptions, have an expiration date of like November 2023, which is what they would have if they were printed in 2021, because Topps expires at redemptions 2 years after they release a product. So anyways, long backstory. So rather than making these both available and letting you buy whatever you want of each, they sell these only as a group, and it's $250 for both boxes. So basically $125 a box. Some people think that, well, the market basically thinks that 2022 is worth way more than 2021, because on eBay these go for like close to $200. These go for close to $120, I think. So I don't know, it's interesting. Each of these give you one guaranteed autograph, and from what I've seen, you're going to get maybe 2 or 3 numbered cards and a bunch of parallels. So I think I'm going to open this 2021. See what it looks like. I think this design is the 93 Bowman design, and the 2022 is the 94 Bowman design. Which kind of makes me wonder, like, well, what did they do? What did they do with the 89 Bowman design, the 90 Bowman design, 91, 92? Because the original, the sort of original, like, new release of Bowman Heritage back in 2019 had a design that was like 1953 Bowman, which is a very, very simple design. Basically, a white border around a photo, and that's it. And a lot of people really like that. So those cards have gotten pretty popular. So anyways, I got a bunch of these because I feel like all of the Bowman Heritage sets, have been pretty popular, and they've done pretty well in terms of, value of the boxes. So, as you know, I'm a believer in 2022 products. To buy and hold. 2021 is a kind of a terrible year, but with Bowman products, which are, heavily focused on prospects, there's always a good chance. There's somebody good in there. Like 2021, there's Anthony Volpe cards in here, right? He's very hot right now. There's J-Rods, there's, everybody basically that was still a prospect at this time and is, half decent is in this product, so. Alright. So, well, quality control looks quite good on this first card. Very well centered. Pretty clean finish. And, yeah, looks very nice. So there's a Mountcastle rookie. There's our first prospect card. Edward Perez, and we'll see, I think, on the back, the numbering is just the, so 212, right? It's the same as this Mountcastle rookie. There's no, like, P in front of it for a prospect or anything like that. It's just in the base set. So some people, some true believers, believe that that means these are rookie cards of these players. So here's an actual rookie with the rookie card logo. Alec Bohm. I think he's actually doing pretty good this year. The Yankees just played the first game of a series against Philadelphia Phillies, and I think Bohm had a pretty nice like double, and he's got I think a home run or two this year as well. Robert Hassel, one of the better prospects at the time this stuff was out. Tristan McKenzie, rookie card. Jeremy De La Rosa. So all these cards look really nicely centered so far, so I'm pretty optimistic. There's Austin Martin. He was like one of the top guys in his draft class back in I think 2021 actually. I think this was the first year. And he got drafted by the Blue Jays, but then he was traded to the Twins, which is not so great. And this shows him with the Twins jersey, although that would have probably been airbrushed onto a photo. Oh boy, look at that, our first something. I don't think this is an autograph. But I don't know why it was backwards. It's just a chrome. It would appear like the Austin Martin. I think Christian Hernandez is a pretty good name. I wonder if this is a like an image variation. There are image variations in this product, so that could be. I'll have to look that up. Austin Hendricks. So this is like the first card we've gotten that's slightly off centering wise. Everything else looks pretty dang centered. Xavier Edwards is our last card. So every card has two of those chromes in it. The rest are paper cards, but it looks like a pretty good quality product, which is nice to see. Nice to see. Well, I live in the Midwest, upper Midwest in North Dakota, and it is April 3rd today, and tomorrow and the next day it's supposed to be blizzarding, like the biggest blizzard of the year. And that, my friends, is depressing as hell. Cody Ho, is he? Miguel Blaze. Clayton Peters, so I'll probably be trapped inside for the next couple of days at least. Now after that, yeah, another backwards. I wonder if the chromes are just facing each other for some strange reason. No, maybe not. Okay, so I don't know. That was backward. I think this is gonna turn out to be an image variation, although it's kind of a boring image variation. I'm gonna take that out just so I can remember to look that up. Jose Tina. Another backwards card, mystery backwards card, but that was the same as the first pack, where the first chrome was oriented, normally, and then the second chrome was backwards. So I don't know, strange. There's Jordan Groshans. I wonder how he's doing. He was one of the top prospects when he was drafted, and maybe top like 20 or 25, and I got some really nice autograph cards of him out of, I think, 2018 Bowman's Best. And they're graded 10s, so I've been waiting for him to make some noise, but haven't seen much of anything. Let's see if there's some very old stats in here. Yeah, 2019 stats. I don't know if he was injured in 2020 or why he doesn't have 2020 stats on here, but in 2019 he had 83 at-bats and a 3.37 average, which is nice. Heritage and Mookie Betts. I don't know how much of this stuff I'm going to open, but I'll let you know when I decide. Joey Gallo. So Joey Gallo's on the Minnesota Twins right now. He's actually doing pretty well in the first few games of the year. He's got a couple home runs already. So we'll see if he can keep that up. Yoel Cui Cespedes. Ronnie Mauricio. I feel like his stuff got hot, like, I think it was like kind of end of last year. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, I remember just getting like some offers on a card I had of his all of a sudden at some point in the last year. And he must have done something somewhere. Shane McClanahan, Blaze Jordan, he was a pretty big, I think, name in this Twin 21 stuff. So there's a parallel, black and white, Garrett Crochet. Those have been in all the Bowman Heritage releases, the black and whites. Bobby Witt. Without his mullet, it looks like. And our second chrome is Johan Rojas, Sam Huff rookie, and George Springer. So we haven't gotten any like numbered cards, any colored cards. We haven't got our autograph, but you know, it's like 3 packs, so we're not very far into this thing. Okay, Adael Amador, Max Scherzer. Oh, we got a refractor coming up, so that's exciting. Brian Buelvis. Joey Bart, rookie card. Hunter Green. Victor Acosta. Corbin Carroll is one of the better. He's playing in the bigs now, but he's one of the best young prospects in the game. Trevor Hauver, and our numbered refractor. Boy, this looks like really nicely centered. Actually, I take it back. It's a little bit off, but it's pretty dang good. Julio Carreras, number 2, 199. So I guess just the base refractors are numbered so that's pretty cool. I like that. And Hee-Sung Kim, rookie there. So pretty interesting product so far. I definitely think this is, you know, got potential for sure. Bo Naylor, Javi Baez, Misael Urbina, Jake Vogel, Jefferson Caro, Roberto Hernandez, and another black and white. Gabriel Arias is not very good. I have some of his stuff. It's not valuable at all. Our 2 chromes are Hilcruz Alvarez and Patrick Bailey. Trevor Hauber, base. I kind of want to go until I get something that's like interesting, like maybe a, you know, a nice parallel of a star player, star rookie prospect, like or an auto or something. All right, Angel Martinez, JT Realmuto, Drew Waters, Nolan Arenado, Jaron Duran, CJ Abrams, Bryce Harper, and our 2 chromes are going to be Nick Gonzalez and Jeremy De La Rosa. Austin Wells, currently injured, catcher for the Yankees. All their catchers, all their minor league catchers are injured apparently. because their, their starter, Trevino, is like the top defensive catcher in the league, and he's healthy. And they have a backup catcher who's pretty, serviceable. He's healthy. He can do his job as a backup. No imminent need for catching help. Although an offensive-minded catcher who can, hold his own defensively would certainly be ideal. All right, Ian Anderson, black and white. Gabriel Rodriguez. Kevin Alcantara. Yeah, he was, he was a Yankee, and a pretty good one, I think. I mean, I don't know too much about him, but I feel like he was a pretty highly touted international, prospect, signed by the Yankees and then traded to the Cubs. So it's funny because I thought I've seen cards of this guy. You know what it is? I think he has autographed cards in this set, and he's in his Yankees jersey. So I think those were, probably printed a lot earlier than like the base card, because they got to go to the player for signing. Nice J-Rod base. So that's kind of interesting. I was expecting all of his cards in this set to show him in his Yankees gear, but apparently they got the the regular cards, the non-autograph cards, corrected, or updated, I should say, but not the autos. Dylan Carlson, rookie. Ronnie Mauricio, and our second numbered card is another base. Refractor, Emerson Hancock. Always hate to see a pitcher. And Bayron Lora. I wonder how Bayron Lora's doing. I remember he was like basically the best guy you could get out of his draft class when his stuff, came out. Haven't really heard much about him, but I don't know that I necessarily would. Just because I don't follow, prospects and minor leaguers. Other than to the extent that they, see swings in prices of, like, or they impact prices of unopened stuff that holds their cards. Namely, Bowman products. Gleyber Torres hit his second home run of the young season earlier this evening, and he's looking really sharp, I gotta say, at the plate. So that's exciting to see, both because if he gets hot, that's really good for the Yankees, and it's really good for me because I have a crap ton of his cards, like pretty high-end cards of his. Luis Medina, Geraldo Perdomo. I've got a Bowman, first Bowman auto parallel, grade PSA 10 of that guy. So it'd be nice if he started to lighten things up, but I don't really expect that. Alright, Trent DeVoe, Joey Votto, Milcar Perez, Heliot Ramos, Zachary Pujols, Maximo Acosta, Jefferson Espinal, Wilman Diaz, and Cade Cavalli. Yarrow Pomares, Tatis. I think his stuff is starting to kind of creep back up. Has been for a little while. I think he's eligible to play in like May. just got that card last pack. I don't think we've got any chrome, like, you know, big prospects. Kilnick, well, there we go, and then I spoke too soon. So there's one, Anthony Volpe. Very nice. Yidi Cappe. Tyler Stevenson, Brandon Marsh. Alright, Edward Cabrera, Cattell Marte, Pedro Leon, Bobby Miller, Jordan Adams, Marcus Smith, black and white Jonathan India rookie card, kind of nice. Eston Kierstad, he was once one of the better prospects, and another friggin' pitcher for our parallel. So that's a bummer. We're definitely getting the wrong players on the parallels. So that's no fun. Austin Meadows, Jeremy Pena, Leo Verpiquero, Matt Chapman, Thomas, that's kind of a nice one. Bobby Witt, black and white. Miguel Amaya, Alec Thomas, Chrome, Malcolm Nunez, James Beard. Isn't there like a culinary award called the James Beard Award? Goes to like restaurants or chefs or something. Kristen Pache, rookie. I feel like he got traded a few times, a couple times. He was like on the A's, and then he went to the Phillies, I think, just recently. Max Meyer, former University of Minnesota. I think he's injured. I think he's like had surgery or something. Like Tommy John or something like that, and he's like still recovering from that. Christian Javier, big part of that Astros World Championship pitching staff. Shea Langoliers, Royce Lewis. I don't know if he's in the bigs now. I presume he is. I don't know if he's injured or healthy, but that guy was a top prospect back in 2017. Alright, I don't know how much more of this I want to open. I mean, we have relatively few packs left, and oh, we got a blue. Okay, maybe we'll get somebody good. Mackenzie Gore, Royce Lewis. That's funny. This pack felt kind of thick, and those colored refractors are, you know, a bit thicker than like the chromes. So I don't know if I'm imagining things, or if I could actually tell that thickness was, you know, off. Wow, look at that. We got two black and whites in a row plus the blue, so a lot of parallels coming to this stuff. Come on, please be coming good. Alright, I don't know who that is. Xavier Edwards to 99. Drafted Padres, number 1. Okay, so that's good. He was in the first round. I don't know how high or low, but Padres definitely sucked in 2018, I think, so that's good. Okay, so this could be nice. Could be a good one. Looks really nicely centered. So, all right. Well, that might sort of inspire me to go on here. The fact that we got a colored parallel. Boy, the Rays are off to a hot start. They're 3-0 last I checked. I think they might have had an off day or something today, because I don't think I saw them on the calendar. Ed Howard, Keone Cavaco, Shane Bieber, piece. Oh, well, there you go. Okay, so we got our autograph, and I have to say it's a good one. Brian Hayes. I'm not sure how he's doing this year, or if he's injured or what, but boy, he was super hot there for a minute, and you know, certainly one of the best rookies, I would say, in this 2021 class. At least at this point, you know, where we've seen their performance for a couple years, so that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. But honestly, I don't know if I want to keep opening just because there's probably not much left in these. I don't know what I'll do with them, give them away or something. We'll do one more pack and then I'm going to call it a day because I got to get this thing uploaded. There's the guy you want, Haley Rutschman, off to a hot start this year. His stuff is very popular. Ronald Acuna also off to a hot start, which is great to see because he's coming back from an injury. And you never really know how someone's going to be, you know, after they are recuperating for a long time. And, you know, I think he had kind of a slowdown prior to that injury, probably affected, you know, by that injury. So, great to see one of the game's hottest young stars hopefully returning to form. Taylor Trammell, Jordan Adams, Malcolm Nunez, and Kevin Alcantara. Okay, so another base card with the Cubs stuff, so just those autographs. Have the Yankees jersey. Alright, that's what we got for today, folks. I hope you're doing outstanding, and you don't live somewhere that's going to get 20 inches of snow tomorrow. We'll see y'all next time. You have a great one.